Can incorporating an intermittent fasting lifestyle into your everyday routine and your life moving forward reduce your risk for colon cancer? So today I'm going to share with you my personal story with my colonoscopy journey and how things have changed for me over the course of the last 6 years when I started intermittent fasting and some of the other amazing benefits that I have seen from the anti-aging aspect of what an intermittent fasting lifestyle can do for you. So welcome, my name is Ann Parham. I am the creator of the online course and community, The Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman, where I teach you how to practice an intermittent fasting lifestyle that is totally doable day in and day out so that you can, in fact, reap all the benefits that intermittent fasting can provide for you without living an extremist lifestyle. So my first colonoscopy was in 2018. That was about 1 year into me living an intermittent fasting lifestyle that I was pretty serious about. Stopped playing games with what I put in my fasting window. I clean fasted. I fasted consistently for 20 hours a day. I have shared with you guys here in this community that I fasted as if my life depended on it because there were some things going on with my body that I wasn't happy with simply because I was transitioning through the aging process we know as menopause. And so I really treated intermittent fasting very seriously. My first colonoscopy at age 52 in 2018, I came out of my colonoscopy with my doctor meeting me in the recovery room saying, well, Diane, that didn't go as planned. He thought because of the healthy lifestyle that I had been living pretty much my whole adult life, I've been a health and wellness coach my whole adult life, that it was going to be a slam dunk. We were going to be in and out of there, no problems. That was not the case. I had many polyps, many large polyps, and some of them even came back from a biopsy as precancerous. All I could think about is, how did this happen to me? I live a very healthy lifestyle. I do very specific things to put myself in a position where things like colon cancer aren't something that I'm going to ever have to deal with. And let this be a warning for those of you who are scared to go get your colonoscopy. Colonoscopies are preventative measures. They allow you the opportunity to have your body looked at, you get the results, and then from there you can start making some lifestyle choices. So for me, I just doubled down on my fasting. I wasn't going to question fasting, and I knew up to that point at 2018, I really hadn't been fasting that long. I was still in what I like to refer to as the healing stage of what intermittent fasting can do for us. I was really benefiting from all of the hormonal changes that take place with intermittent fasting. I was seeing major relief from a lot of the menopausal symptoms that I was suffering from. And by that point, I had already reversed my pre-diabetic condition. So things were going in the right direction. Because of the nature of the polyps that were found, I was scheduled for another colonoscopy 3 years down the road. So my second colonoscopy was done in 2021. Again, I came out of that colonoscopy with my doctor meeting me in the recovery room, letting me know that they found many polyps again. Those were also sent off for biopsy. Fortunately, the second round, there were no precancerous polyps. And so I was scheduled for my 3-year colonoscopy follow-up. Again, I just stayed consistent with my intermittent fasting lifestyle. I've been really diligent about incorporating nutritional choices in my life where I eliminate foods that are causing me problems, inflammation, bloating, digestive issues, anything that wasn't making me feel and look my best, I've pretty much eliminated out of my diet. So I'm eating a pretty normal, everyday woman kind of diet, just eliminating the things that I have identified that no longer work for me. I have seen the progress of the healing that has been taking place over the course of that time frame. So now we're like 6 years in from the first colonoscopy, about 7 solid years of practicing a very consistent intermittent fasting protocol of 20 hours as clean as possible when appropriate for my life. So now I'm at 2024. I just completed my 3rd colonoscopy, and my doctor was in the recovery room when I woke up and informed me he could not find one polyp. And because of my history with starting out with precancerous polyps, and then 3 years later, I still had too many polyps for him to be comfortable with. And now 6 years in, I have 0 polyps. And he even said, because of my history, he looked really hard to make sure he wasn't missing anything. 0 polyps. I'm 58 years old. I am now 8 years into menopause, and I am seeing the signs of reversal of the aging process. Remember, as our bodies get older, when we're not taking care of them, they just start to fall apart. And this is why colonoscopy screenings, breast cancer screenings, getting your blood work done on a regular basis, diabetic conditions start to creep up on us simply because our body is being allowed to age in a way that it shouldn't be. This is where I am always going to be the biggest cheerleader for intermittent fasting, especially for us women, because there's just too much evidence from everyday women that this is something that is working for us. Now, are there any scientific studies that say that intermittent fasting a certain way is going to reduce your risk for colon cancer? I don't know. I didn't Google it. I'm living my own story of a woman who was in her early 50s with precancerous polyps as a result of getting my first colonoscopy, to 6 years later, deep into menopause, practicing a very healthy and realistic intermittent fasting lifestyle, and now walking away from a colonoscopy with 0 polyps. Some of the other things that I have benefited from being consistent and very realistic about my intermittent fasting lifestyle is I am no longer suffering from hypoglycemia, which I suffered from on a daily basis ever since I was in elementary school. I no longer have high cholesterol. My cholesterol is very normal. It's not extremely low. That is not my goal. My goal with my cholesterol is to be in a position where I don't have to have a conversation with my doctor about cholesterol. So my cholesterol is in a normal range. I have had a calcium heart score test. My calcium heart score test is at a 0, which is perfect. I have reversed my osteopenia. So at the beginning of my intermittent fasting lifestyle in my early 50s, I had osteopenia, which was en route to becoming full-blown osteoporosis. And in the course of the last 8 years, I have reversed that. So not only is my body not going toward osteoporosis, it has reversed all the way out and not even in the osteopenia category anymore. All of my metabolic blood markers are perfect. Cortisol is perfect. Insulin is perfect. There is nothing that would indicate that I am an aging woman from any form of medical test that I am going through. And that's what I hope for you as well. We do not want to get to this stage of life and have to micromanage doctor's appointments, prescriptions, and the slow deterioration of our body. Are you intermittent fasting? Have you created the mindset for yourself that what if I just gave this a go and I went all in and trusted that if I just did my best and I fit this into my lifestyle in a way that it made sense for my lifestyle, and I didn't do all that extremism and I didn't do all that crazy scheduling of fasting that so many people are promoting, and you just naturally fell into a lifestyle that you can create for yourself that is going to help you live an amazing life for you and your future self, and just might possibly put you in a situation where you could be the healthiest you have ever been. At 58 years old, because I do not suffer from hypoglycemia, I do not suffer from any sort of diabetic conditions, I do not suffer from any sort of bone-related deterioration that I have to be preoccupied or worried about, because I don't have to manage any medical conditions or conversations with my doctors at all. I can honestly tell you I am the healthiest I have ever been. Why would you not give yourself that same opportunity? All it takes is a little bit of understanding about how your body works in conjunction with food that you're eating. You have to listen to the signs and signals that your body is sending you when you are in a fed state, as well as when you're in a fasted state, and then give yourself the benefit of the doubt. What if this was the one missing thing that you needed to prolong your life and improve your life so that you can continue to age in a very healthy way with no limitations? Now, I am not a doctor, so I can't tell you that intermittent fasting can cure anything for you, but I will always be your biggest cheerleader, and I will always share very real information that I am experiencing for myself, as well as sharing the stories of the women here in our community. Intermittent fasting is probably one of the easiest things that you can do for yourself, and it's also one of the most cost-effective. One of the biggest complaints about what's going on in the world today is the cost of food. What if you are over consuming food, and not only is that expensive and hard on your budget, but what if it is the one thing that's also making you sick? What if it is that one thing that's making you age faster than you're supposed to be aging? It's a really fun way to live your life if you create the mindset around intermittent fasting that it's a tool that you can use to benefit you and your future self. It is not a deprivation. It is not starving your body. It is not anything that has to ever be a negative if you choose to use it as a tool and create it as a positive for yourself. Like I said, I am the creator of the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course and community. We have a course starting every month. I teach you the basics of intermittent fasting. I teach you how to understand what is going on with your hunger hormones when you are in a fasted state, and how to recognize them and trick them into working for you. And then we also talk about the social and emotional aspects of creating an intermittent fasting lifestyle for yourself. If you didn't know me personally and you saw me out socializing, you would never, ever guess that I go 20 hours a day without eating food. You might notice that I look really healthy. You might notice that I'm really energized, and you might not believe that I'm 58 years old. But those are just the results of what I choose to do in my everyday life. It's not something that I feel like I need to advertise. It is something that I just incorporate into my life, and I live it out every single day with the mindset that this is the best way for me to live my life moving forward. I hope today's video gave you some encouragement. If you've been afraid to start intermittent fasting, I hope this will help you jumpstart your journey. If you have walked away from intermittent fasting, why the heck would you do that to yourself? Come on back in. We love it here. We welcome you back anytime you're ready to come back. This can be a very fun and a very simple lifestyle if you choose to make it fun and simple for yourself. In the description box below, I always include information about how to get on my email list so you can be invited to join us for our next course. And as always, I will continue to show up here sharing the good word about intermittent fasting, as well as incorporating a mindset approach to help us age successfully. Thank you for spending some time with me today. If you have any questions about anything that I shared today, please leave them in the comment section below. Or if you have an amazing story about what intermittent fasting has done for you, I always encourage you to share your story in our comment section as a means to pay it forward to another woman who might be suffering unnecessarily, and your story might just be the thing that she needs to hear to step into this lifestyle as well.